welcome to the IMI Insights podcast. In this episode, we are looking at how content creators today are going beyond likes and shares and creating businesses that are actually thriving. They're turning their relatability, online credibility, and also the trust that people place in them into personal brands. And by doing this, they're also impacting how consumers today are making decisions. To throw more light on this and to understand how this is playing out, we are joined by Professor Nitika Sharma, who is an assistant professor of marketing at IMI. And her Inside article sheds light on how, in today's world, creators need to be authentic, to be relatable, and also how this could lead to business success. Hello, Professor Sharma, and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Farhana, for having me.
So, to start off with, we want to understand a little bit more about the creator economy. And one thing that comes up often is that there's a lot of opinion, there's a lot of noise. So, how does that sort of come into play today in this sort of environment?
To answer your question, I'll tell you, we are living in a world right now where answers are everywhere
Yeah.
and clarity is something which is very rare. I'll tell you an example. Recently I was scrolling my Instagram, and within 20 minutes, I came across with three videos. One video was talking about I should avoid carbs. The second video was talking about, I should be high on protein. And third video was talking about I should be eating what my nannies and daddies were
Yeah.
eating. So it hit me hard with the humor first, but later on, I thought of this is what we are struggling with. This is what I call it as a confusion economy,
Mhm.
where we are being advised, but lack of understanding. The attention is high, but the clarity is low. You take an example of so many fitness influencers. There are, you talk about Jasmine, you talk about Namrata Purohit, you talk about Gaurav Taneja. They give you very valuable advices,
Mhm.
insights, but what is good for you, you don't know it. So you fell into a loop where you don't understand the context, but you don't know what to follow. So it's very important for you to understand what is right for you, what is wrong for you, if you want to survive this confusion economy.
So from this what I understand is, and I've also sort of been I've also seen videos like this which can be really confusing, not only fitness but in a lot of different aspects, even parenting or what you should teach your children and all of these things. So what makes then a content creator sort of relatable? Like, what do we look for? Is it authenticity, relatability? What exactly are we looking for now?
So I believe it's a combination of all, and when we talk about today's time, the vulnerability is a superpower. We are seeing the videos which is curated, polished, filter too perfect. But when you see a influencer who's saying that, I am also struggling,
Mm-hmm.
I am also figuring out, so you lean to it, you start connecting to it. So let me just give you an example of this influencer, Miss Nancy Tyagi. She is someone who is from a small village of UP and has gone to Cannes
Yeah.
red carpet,
Yes.
where she stitched her own gown from the fabric of Selampur. So it is not about fashion, it is not about the success story, it's about her struggle, it is about the challenges, it is about the grit that she has faced. So, what people are connecting is the struggle, is the journey that the influencer, you know, is facing. So, you can connect to it. So, now I have seen her recent video where she's talking about she's designing the clothes for the Bollywood celebrities like Ananya Pandey. So, the influencers, what they are doing is talking about their journey, not the success story, but their struggles and their shared value. So it is creating some kind of emotional contract
Mm-hmm.
with the audience. So it's not always about the algorithm which make me stick with your reels, but
Right.
it's something which I can feel connected. So emotional contract is something which is very important, which can come from your vulnerability, which can comes from your two story credibility and reliability that you are creating with your audience.
So it's a classic underdog story at play where you're like sort of moving up from the grassroots and getting more success at a global
Because
level.
that's very true, because that's raw, that's unpolished.
Right.
This is not, I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm saying that I'm still figuring out
Hmm.
as we are doing. I'm not perfect. So I understand as a human being I'm not perfect. So this is what the influencers are showing, that you're not perfect, but yes, I'm also struggling, I'm also figuring out. We're just creating some kind of a connection with them. So this is what we can talk about. It is creating the
So you
connection.
also talk about something very interesting, and that was also sort of what we were leading into when we started the podcast. We were talking about how there's a new marketing funnel that sort of begins with content creation and ends with like a business or an entrepreneurship that they can do. So can you like talk a little bit more about that?
I've been into this marketing teaching. I've been teaching to the students, and from the from the earlier time, what we were teaching to the students is that you create a product.
Hmm.
There's an ida model, which talks about you create a product, you create a awareness for the product, you drive the interest for the product, you create a desire for the product, and then finally, it's up to the people who are buying the
Hmm.
product or not buying the product. So it is more about the product orientation that we are talking about,
But the product
whereas
comes
yeah, the
first.
product comes
Yeah.
first. But now if we talk about today's time, where we are talking about influencer marketing, they have flipped the funnel. They are saying that no, 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 let's create the awareness, let me create the community, let me talk to them, let me understand what do they want, and then I will think about something beyond that. So in this insight I am talking about a care funnel. So care is an acronym that I'm using. C is for connect,
Hmm.
A is for align, R is for resonate, and E is for evolve. So I'm seeing that the first and the foremost thing for the content creator or the influencer is to connect, connect with your audience,
Right.
connect through their stories, their shared values, their experience, and then align it with the audience lifestyle,
Hmm.
audience value, create a trust, and then resonate. This is something much more deeper. This is something much more, you are connecting with them. This is much more, you are engaging with them. So you are resonating, by understanding what is their emotional needs and wants, what they are expecting. It's not only the functional value, but beyond that, the
Yeah.
emotional
So
value
you're
that you are
creating a full
creating.
circle sort of
Yes,
experience.
and then evolve. The E is for evolve, that you are evolving, you are seeing what is their requirement, you are reading their comments, you are reading their DMs, you are
Hmm.
reading, what they are expecting for you, and then you are coming up with a product. So this is more beyond it. It's like a loop where you are evolving, you are innovating your product, and then you are strengthening your trust. I'll give you a very the recent example of one of the influencer. I know that you must be also knowing her, Kusha Kapila.
Yes.
She started with the talking light-hearted videos, satires.
Hmm.
Then she started talking about the griefs, the struggles, the body image, the shames, that she faced. And then she connected with the community, and now she's into her own entrepreneurial journey, and there is a brand that she recently came up with
Right.
underneath. So what is it that I am doing? Every time she comes up with a new product, there's a new product innovation. By understanding, asking the customer, you tell me what do you want. I have read this comment and they were saying that this is what I want in my
Hmm.
for me.
Hmm.
So she creates and innovates that product. So there's a huge flip that we are talking about. I am creating a community, I'm trying to understand them, I'm evolving my product via them. So it's a more community driven rather than a
Hmm.
product driven approach.
And this also seems to tie in, I think, with what the new sort of Gen Z and Gen Alpha might be looking at, because they want to really connect with what they're consuming, right? Whether it's content or product, it shouldn't be something that's like just thrown at you, right?
That's true. If we are talking about a traditional funnel, where we were talking about product
Hmm.
first and we were pushing, it was most of the time push model.
Yes.
Whereas this whole idea of influencer marketing and the entrepreneurial journey is all about pull, where I'm trying to make them aware, and I'm also trying to understand what is their needs and wants, and then I'm trying to connect with the same. Like for example, I talk about this great influencer you also must be knowing. Again, there are lots of influencer we all
We cannot
most of the
escape
time.
them.
Yes, we cannot escape them. It's very true. So there's a guy, Ranveer Allahabadiya, the beer biceps.
Biceps,
He
yes.
comes up with the podcast, and so what has he done? He started with this, fitness videos and started people are wearing, and he came up with his own, product, the Level Supermind.
Okay.
So what happens with the same? People started buying the product as a friend. This backed him and his product, his services as a friend,
Mm.
rather than as a consumer, because they
Mm.
felt, yes, he's saying something true. We are being aware. We are being taught. And if you take another example of this is a guy, Ranveer. He's known as Food Farmer.
Okay.
He's the one who advocated about a product, Bonvita. He
Okay.
said that it has a high sugar content.
The
and
cleaner
it's not-
labels and everything.
yeah,
I
the
think,
cleaner
yeah.
labels. He's the one who advocates about health capital as an Indian, where we are, go with most of the time advertisement.
Yeah.
But he's the one who advocates about, have read your label. He advocates about see what is the sugar content, and
Yeah.
because of which, he got a legal problems from the companies. But he was being affirmative, and because of his stand, the company had to reduce the sugar content. So
Yes.
he gained that kind of a trust, and in July 2025, he's coming up with his own product, and the product name is OWN. The product name is OWN, and that's an acronym, and OWN means only what needed. So are you seeing how my understanding with the consumer? I understand the
Yeah.
customer wants something real. Customer wants something without being cheated. The customer want what is needed. So he came up with a brand name OWN whey protein health product. He's a health advocator.
Right.
So this is how I try to evolve with this respect.
So this is, I think it's a very good example of how we always say create demand before you create a product, and this is clearly we can see it in play, and it sort of really shows what today's content creators are actually looking at and what eventually they'll be doing, right? So all of this is really interesting, and I'm sure you must be talking about this in class as well when you're teaching your students. So when B school students are looking at entrepreneurship, what can they learn from this sort of new strategy, if we may call it?
See, so when I teach marketing or customer relationship management in the class, I tell them, see, trust is not a KPI. Trust is not something a KPI on a dashboard. It is beyond that. It is what people, looking forward for you. They are watching you. They are connecting with you. And then they are, coming to you and asking for a product. So as an entrepreneur or as a business student, what I suggest them, uh, you know, as we are talking about many of the this is not something new. This is not something new. Earlier also companies used to connect with lots of marketing research firms.
Yeah.
There were a number of companies who were giving marketing intelligence to the to the firms. But this is different. Now we are talking about you are very near to your target customer. You are very near to your TGs. You are very near to your audience. You talk to them, you listen to them, you observe them, you engage them, not selling them the product. But the first phase is to talk to them. So now in this today's time, I tell them your new product idea might not come from the boardrooms, but might come from the comment section,
Yes.
from your from your social media account. So read, understand, try to get the idea. So that's
So
more
this is,
important
I think,
for this
also
field.
like you've been saying it, like building a community really comes into play here, because we're actually hearing a lot more voices. It's not just the boardroom, but it's everyone sort of getting involved, right? So, you've been talking about a lot of influencers who've done these things, but if you were to give us a few examples of creators who've actually very seamlessly turned into business entrepreneurs, and also like what really sets them apart from others.
So I'll give you, recently in my class, we were discussing casual discussion with respect to the men grooming, category. And I was asking them, the products you like or the products. So I was expecting a very common answer. I was just thinking, I'll get a chorus and shouting answers that students will be talking about Gillette, Gillette, Gillette. And except Gillette, there were few of the voices in the class where they were talking about Bombay shaving cream,
Right.
and it was very fascinating, because I was expecting the most of the students will be only, in fact, the 100% will be talking about Gillette, one of the brand, which is hair in the market from many decades,
Yeah.
and this is a new organization, new company started, and still people are talking about. So I asked them, why this Bombay shaving company that you're talking about. So students said that, recently we heard the CEO of this company, Mr. Shantanu Deshpande, and he was talking about the product, he was talking about the struggle, he was talking about, what is happening in the market, and we connected. So, this is what we are talking about in today's time, where the product branding is not important, where the product branding is not only important, I would like
Hmm.
to emphasize, but the personal branding is also
Right.
important. You have to talk about yourself, your struggle, that what you have done as an entrepreneur. So the people are also learning from you, they are also consuming the content from you. So this is something very important. And also and the examples are not limited, as I was talking about Kusha Kapil, as I was talking about Ranveer, as I was talking about Gaurav Taneja. There are examples, n number of examples. You take the leading podcast person Raj Shamani. I believe that you must have heard his podcast. You must have heard the short reels where he's being talking. There are lots of motivational videos, lots of content, lots of speakers who are coming. How many of us know that he owns a company also, House of X?
Mm-hmm.
But we know a person, we know how good he is, we know him as with his own personal branding. Similarly, there's one organization started by two influencers, Yamini and Piyush. They started with the outlet, ice cream parlor Snowberry.
Right.
So they started with the Snowberry. They started talking about, they started showing their short videos during the COVID, and they became a very popular couples, and with their light-hearted video, humorous videos, satire videos. So they become very popular, and they came up with the idea of coming up the ice cream parlor, and they have good outlets in Delhi, Gurgaon, and they have recently, I saw the video where they said that we have also launched our ice cream parlor in indoor, and every time they come up with a new flavor or different kind of a flavor after reading the comments. So this is how the influencers are getting into the market,
Right.
by saying that the product branding is important, but what else is important is the personal branding.
So
Yeah,
relatability is obviously very
the
important.
shared
Yeah.
values that we are talking about, the
Yeah.
experience that we are talking about, that's it's an important
Yeah. You need
part.
to know the person who's actually getting this product to you. It's not just the product. That's important.
Yes. So
Right.
the kind of image that you're creating, people resonate that the same image your product will also gonna follow.
That's very interesting. Also, when we talk about influencers, there's also micro influencers who are gaining a lot of traction. So, what kind of impact do they have on this?
Very nicely said. So they say that micro influencers are more meaningful. The macro influencers, when they shout to a big audience, micro influencer whispers. So there's a whisper, there's a voice that echo. Among the audience,
Mm-hmm.
where they have limited audience, they know their audience with names, they know their audience with respect to the language, they have a grassroots connection with
Yes.
them, they have a local connection with them, they have a local accent, which is being more connected to it, and the brands are loving it, rather than investing, rather than giving their more expenditures to the mega and big influencers. They are investing into micro influencers, the companies like Dot and Key, the companies like Mama Earth. They are collaborating with the influencer,
Mm-hmm.
only having with 1,000 followers, because they say that sometimes the shout has not that much of the impact than the whispers, and whispers can turn the decision making more faster as compared to it, and depth, which is really important.
Mm-hmm.
Micro influencers bring those depth, they bring
Mm-hmm.
that kind of a scale, they share the same story, they share the same location, they share the same challenges. So that's how the companies, they are collaborating with micro influencers. So we have number of micro influencers. You take from, not only from tier 1, you take from tier 2, tier 3, you will find thousands and hundreds of influencers who are there and who are advocating about their product. So local economy and local market can be penetrated
Right,
through
through the
these.
micro influencers.
Yes.
So, interestingly, you talk about there being a lot of confusion when it comes to content, but you also call influencers sort of curators of clarity. So, how does that happen?
This is very interesting to understand. We get number of products. We are being bombarded with number
Yeah.
of products. If I have to, come up with the clear skin, so I have thousands of products. But
Hmm.
if I follow a few of the influencers, or I follow one or two influencer who's having the same kind of a problem that I am having, and if they suggest me, see, this is a product that I have used. This is a product. This, has given me this result. It's saving my time, it's saving my risk to use this new product.
Hmm.
It is really building a trust for me for that product, and I am debunking the myth. I am saving my time to use this new product. So this is the one, who are creating a clarity for me. I'm following the person who is having the same skin problem. I don't have to take a risk of buying a new product. I don't have to wait for 4 weeks or 5 weeks to see the results. I've
Right.
seen this is what happening. So again, and that's why, many influencers have started with their own brands. You talk about Katrina Kaif, she started with the K product. You talk about Kim Kardashian, she started with her own shapewear brands. You talk
Yeah.
about Priyanka Chopra, and number of all the celebrities. In fact, they are coming into it because people admire their beauty. People admire, what they are, what they have, and they are becoming. They are coming up
Yeah.
with their own product.
So I think this also is where the impact shows, right? Where the consumer impact really shows, because amidst all of this noise and chaos, also, you kind of, I think consumers are also very certain on who they want to follow and who sort of gives them more clarity in what they are seeking.
Yes, so it brings them something which is filtered. Now, I
Yeah.
have not lots of voices. I don't have to go with all the funnels.
Yes.
I'm filtering what
Yeah.
is
What I'm comfortable
required.
with and what I want to see.
Yes,
Right.
and this is where the influencers are helping the consumers. That I'm
Hmm.
getting a very filtered uh, product. I'm getting a very filtered opinion, and I'm using it. So I don't
Right.
have to wait for it.
So, of course, any discussion that we have, and I say it often, is we cannot leave AI out. So and now obviously creators are also using AI a lot in their planning and whatever they do. But where do you think they should draw the line? Because they also need to have authentic voices. So how does AI sort of work in this?
See, AI is something very important. We cannot deny it. It is important to plan the things for them, to design the things, to automate
Hmm.
the process for them. But it is not very necessary for them to make them feel connected with the
Yeah.
audience. So, in fact, according to Statista, by 2025, 60% of the marketers in AI influencer marketing will be using
Hmm.
AI as a tool in their marketing activities. So it means that AI is something important. So I'll give you an example of there is one AI avatar, AI influencer, Lil Mequilla. She is the one who has around millions of
Hmm.
followers. She is collaborated with the brands like Dior, Chanel, CK, and BMW. She's earning around $2 million in year. Her company has this valuation of around $125 million.
Hmm.
She's not a human, she's a robot.
Like she's basically AI
Yeah,
created.
she's a
Huh,
AI
huh.
avatar,
Yeah.
and the companies are collaborating with her. The main companies, the luxurious companies,
Hmm.
are collaborating with her for the product endorsement, for some kind of promotion too. And the AI avatar that we are talking about. So the best thing is that there's no risk to it. There's no public scandal to the AI avatar that we are talking about. But here, we need to understand that current audience has a good emotional radar.
Hmm.
They feel bad when they see this. Everything is perfect. There's lack of nuisance. There's a robotic tone.
The relatability sort of
It's very
doesn't
less. There's
work.
no
Yeah.
human connection to it, so they feel offended. So here, what is the the content creator needs to draw a line. AI is there to help you. It makes your work smarter, it makes your work efficient, but don't lose your authenticity, don't lose your trust, don't lose your personal connection,
Mm-hmm.
the personal contract that we were discussing with the audience that you have. So there is a lean line that you need to draw. They want to hear your lived story rather than a scripted story. So that's something very important for the current time, the influencers. They need to understand, use AI,
Yeah.
but draw a line with respect to the personal connection, human
Mm-hmm.
connection, emotional contract that we are talking about.
So, through this course of the podcast and also in your article, you sort of touched upon a lot of ideas and a lot of things that are happening. So, there's a lot of, say, we're talking about AI, like we just talked about. And then there's, of course, a lot of noise, a lot of content that is being thrown at people. And of course, also the audience is evolving, right?
Yeah.
So, in amidst all of this, what is the future of now influencers turning into entrepreneurs?
So this is a very interesting thing, I think we should divide this thing by understanding the phases. The
Mhm.
first phase was a company driven economy phase, where the company used to advertise, where the company
Right.
used to take a lead and they used to promote a product. They used to build a story, regarding a product. Like, for example, we talk about when Coca-Cola wanted to launch in India,
Mm.
they started with the campaign, Thanda Matlab Coca-Cola.
Right.
So they started resonating, when you ever you want to have Thanda, have a Coca-Cola, or open happiness. So
Yeah.
they grew with it.
But also using very celebrity heavy advertisement.
Yes, because that's what's company,
Yeah.
they wanted.
Yeah.
But nowadays, when we talk about in a second phase, there's a content driven economy. I
Mhm.
have lots of, influencers who have their opinion, who have, their content to talk about it.
Right.
So now they give the opinion with this respect. I gonna have this product? Is it good for me? Is it bad for me? Is it something, I'm getting out of it or not? So this is more of content driven economy that we are talking about. But that's also cost huge to the marketers, because I
Mhm.
have to invest. Rather than, now I'm not spending on celebrities, but I have to spend on these
Multiple.
influencers,
Yeah.
multiple influencers. Whether you talk about mega, you talk about micro influencers, you talk about macro influencers,
Mm.
I have to invest. But in a third phase now, where we are, or where is the future, is the consumer driven, economy, where the consumers are also taking a lead. They have a platform, they have a social media account, where they are also, coming up with their own voices, their own opinion, and they are talking about a product. So it's a free of cost thing. I don't have to, as a company, I don't have to pay them. This concept is known as UGC, user generated content.
Right.
So in the user generated content, the consumer themselves are coming and talking about a product, sharing their experiences, and whosoever is in their friend list or a public list, they are also listening. So it's a free of cost thing that I'm doing. So nowadays there's an ecosystem where I have to use everything. I have to build my own story as a company. I have to take a content creator to help me in building that kind of a trust, and then I have to collaborate with the consumer to co-create what
Mhm.
is my value, what is my product's value, and how I should be, creating that kind of a version of my product. So it's an
Right.
ecosystem that the organization needs to create with this respect. So it's something more holistic that organizations have to look into it.
So they're also sort of giving up on a little bit of control of the narrative because it's not entirely in their hands, but sort of more consumer driven is what I guess the future is going to look like, probably.
Yes, so that's why they have to be on their toes. They have to read their all the comments. They have to go with the sensitive analysis to understand whether it's a positive attitude or a negative attitude, and they have to, revamp their strategies accordingly.
Mhm.
So they have to be on their toes with this respect, because everyone is vocal about it. They have a platform. We are not only talking about citizens; we are talking about netizens, who are there on online, and they have their opinion to the things. So yes, the future is more of consumer driven economy that we are talking about.
So thank you so
Stakeholders.
much. This has been very interesting. And it's been a great conversation to have and also understand how influencers are driving markets and also changing the business scenario in that.
Thank you for having me. I hope I was able to, answer few of the things which we always say that, the answers are everywhere, but I was able to bring the clarity to it.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
having me.